You're listening to Stories to Create with your host, Cornell Bunting. Author, motivational speaker, and founder of ES Each Episode. Cornell sits down with inspiring voices to uncover the stories that shape who we are and who we're becoming. Get ready to listen, learn, and be inspired. The show starts now.
Yes. Welcome to another episode of Stories to Create podcast right here at ES Club. I'm your host, Cornell Bunting. You see me rocking the Jamaica shirt today. Killing it. Listen, you guys have kind of briefly met this talented brother out of California, way of Jamaica. And I'm telling you guys, maybe it's ringing in you right now. But without further ado, I gotta have today one of the big men that's doing this thing out there in California, Mr. Zale Young. What go on, brother?
Wow, go on. Big up. Stories to create, Cornell. Big up having me, yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Happy
I
to be
answer,
back.
man. Listen, man. We're excited, and bro, you've been putting out some new contents. I know you've been working on what this new year coming is gonna look like, what your approach is gonna look like for your people that is loving the music that you create and all this stuff.
Mm.
Before we dive into this new piece, which I'm gonna let everyone get an opportunity to listen to, what can you tell the people, man? Like what you been up to the last year?
Boy, been up to a lot of things. Earlier in the year, I had a few performances at different places around California.
Yeah,
Well, first of all, I went earlier this year. I was in Jamaica. Had a couple of different performances around the place. But the biggest thing was the Island Music Conference. That was a great opportunity because, got to do some workshops with with Mikey Bennett, famous songwriter in Jamaica. Learned
yeah,
a lot from him. Man, I got to perform at the Island Music Conference, in front of Shaggy and beer people in the so, that was just a great experience, great opportunity.
yeah.
Uh, I got, some recognition, got good feedback. It was basically a good encouragement to keep doing this journey, you
I
know what I
I,
mean?
I love that, man, and I love that you just say what you say about performing in front of individuals like Shaggy, because newer acts sometimes find themselves in a place where they don't feel like them can really deliver the way they would love to deliver when they're in front of certain artists that have excelled and have done it so massive. What was them things going through your head, bro? Like, before performing, knowing you have artists there that could say, you know what, I like how I'm doing this thing, and
Yeah, man, so I mean, definitely. Usually I don't get nervous anymore,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm coming for so long. But this time I was, feeling it a little bit. 'Cause of course, you're in
yeah,
front of such greats, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But,
yeah,
but my thing is like, you have to get out of your head.
yeah, man.
You have to get out of your head and into the music, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Because it's just a practice of you know being in the moment. And when you're up
right,
there on stage, you can't really be thinking about all of this and all of that. You just have to
right.
do the best, and you just have to be in the flow, you know what I mean? And once
Yeah,
you do that, once you
yeah,
into your music and you really just step into what your passion is, because we do this because we love it.
yeah, man.
So, everybody will feel that love and feel that passion. And if you're good, people rock with the music, and I feel like that happened.
So right now, before the listeners hear this new piece, I would love to have you tell them what was going through your head when you decide to write Dopamine.
Yeah, man, this was an interesting one because I actually wrote this with it's two of us on the song, me and
Right.
a California rapper named Gio, right?
Gio, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, we link up and we say, yeah, man, want write a tune. This was actually his beat. He had made this beat, and we just sit down and vibe with it and I listen to it.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how we come up with the concept of dopamine, but dopamine is dopamine is the thing, the neurochemical inside of us where it's almost like a drug, but it's a neurochemical that make us feel
Well,
good.
for ball.
It
Yeah,
make us feel good when we do certain things, when we,
yeah,
eat certain food or we scroll on social media or whether it's weed or, these types of
right.
things that
Yeah,
can get addicted to. And we just kind of was medzing that, you know what I mean? Like a lot of the world is dopamine chasing, and a lot of whether it's producers of food or whether it's social media or it kind of hijack your dopamine and make you addicted to certain things. So we just was medzing and it was like, kind of need to like lay off the dopamine. There's a thing called dopamine fasting where you just get away from certain things for a while, go out in nature and just, all on meds and kind of reset your mind, you know what I mean? So that's kind of what the song is about, like kind of laying off the dopamine and just recentering yourself.
I gotta stop chasing the dopamine, dopamine. Yeah, I need to lay off the dopamine, dopamine. I can't let them hijack my dopamine, 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 dopamine. Get off the dopamine. Feel like the moment is soaking in, losing myself in a floating dream. Wake up, I feel like I need a sip from an Hennessy cup, bought a nice margarita. Need some more, gotta speed up. Lost when I'm getting deep. Turn off the speaker, I just need some quiet. Where did I go? I don't know where the time went. Thinking but thought I was flying. So caught up, forgot who I am. I'm tired of living so mindless. I had too much, I wouldn't mind less. Cause heavy's the head of the highness. I gotta get used to the silence. I gotta stop chasing the dopamine, dopamine. Yeah, I need to lay off the dopamine, dopamine. I can't let them hijack my dopamine, 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 dopamine. Dopamine fast, got me moving slow. Staying engaged, posted on no place, call it home. No stimulation, really hitting me, I ain't not patient. Try to mind me, give me an ambition. Bring it out, it really ain't minute me. I've been drinking the pain and spicy. On my own, give a fuck if they like me. Can't pepper and play with my psyche. Cold plunge, trying to find new ways to relate with the icy. The way we be chopping up, how does this sugar get dicey? The price that you see on the tag isn't the true cost. Yeah, this sugar get pricey. I gotta stop chasing the dopamine, dopamine. Yeah, I need to lay off the dopamine, dopamine.
yeah. Boy, it have a vibes. It have a vibes, brother.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, listen, I have to say, no, man, because, in every artist, you see growth from when they start to where they are currently and all that. And I hear that with you, bruv.
Yeah, appreciate that, yeah, man.
One of the things, for a lot of the listeners, what would you say to them when it comes to understanding you need to develop from how you first start and how you saw yourself performing your music, doing your music, and then making the necessary adjustment to get to where you are now from where you were before?
Yeah, man, the thing is really about having a beginner's mind, cause you can't rush it too much.
Right.
Because more time people have a dream, have a goal, but they want to already be at the destination.
Right, right.
You can't start at the destination, or else it's not a journey. You know what I mean? It's a journey.
Yeah.
And so you really have to just kind of accept the journey and be a part of the journey and
Yeah.
be grateful for the journey and the growth you're experiencing along the way. You're not going to start, like a lot of people kind of get, down on themselves because they're not this and they're not that and they're not that and they're not that. But what I always say is, I like this quote. The quote say, the master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried.
Yeah. So
Is
true.
Exactly.
So true, bro. So true. So true. With where reggae is heading right now, and I know you've been seeing all of the big shift that have happened, and some would say people now looking at the reggae music and dancehall on a whole nother level since Cartel came out and certain things. And would you agree with all that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I would. I mean, I feel like since Cartel come out, I mean, it even started when like Buju came out, and
Right.
then like yeah, like since that, I feel like reggae music has been getting even more like international recognition again, and
Right.
this it always has had
Yeah.
that. But you know what I mean? You have artists like DJ Khaled and them man, they're doing like like there's a lot more collaborations going on, and there's a lot
Yeah.
more international collaborations going on, and I like to see that.
Yeah.
I like to see that. But I mean, like, music is always changing, and the landscape is always changing. You have new artists that come up in the dancehall where some of the more OG artists, them are like, oh, what is? But
Yeah.
a lot of them accept it still, cause
Right.
say music evolves, and you kind of
Yeah.
have to roll with the times. And I see a lot of blending now, with between dancehall and reggae and Afro beats and this kind of thing. And you have the songs with like, what's that song with Skilly Bang and Shensia and Molly?
Oh
The
yeah.
song,
Shake it. Shake
yeah,
it to the
yeah,
max. Yeah.
the max going viral the other day. So that's just another testament of like Jamaicans getting more, international collaborations and international success, and I like to see that.
With a lot of the young artists them that are out right now, which young artists would you, if you was to pick three young artists to do collaborations with, who would be those three young artists that you would choose? That's on the big stage right now. Like, you have the Skilly Bang, you have the Skeng, you have the
Yeah,
Henans, all of them, the Massacre. Who would you bring on with you?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Big man thing. All right, so first I'm gonna say Runkus. I don't know if you know Runkus.
Runkus, yeah man, I heard of Runkus, yeah.
Honestly, I mean, Runkus is honestly one of my favorite artists. Like the
Okay.
man, like the lyricism and the melodies were him put together and like all of that. Yeah, another more reggae scene.
Yeah,
That's very Runkus.
yeah.
Uh, but I love to collaborate with Skilly Bang. We don't really make dancehall music,
Right,
but it's
right.
be like, yo,
Yeah.
we just read Skilly Bang a different way, cause the man put together some rhyme scheme. They never think about, you know what I
It's
mean?
different.
Different,
It's
man,
different.
different.
I like
Um, yeah, man, and let's see. I'd love to collaborate with Lila Ike too,
that. Oh yeah?
cause she make waves and
Yeah.
yeah, and she experiment and do different styles and them something them, and I'm like that.
I love that. So recently you see they had the Caribbean Awards
Right, right.
and Shensia win female artist.
Yeah.
You feel going into 2026, Shensia can carry the baton the way she represent Jamaica in a big way.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Absolutely. Shensia one of the biggest artists with the about right honestly, because like it's deserving because she had the big things.
Yeah.
And I mean she makes good music and she not only sticking to a certain box where anybody put her in, you know what I mean? She had a dancehall, she had a pop, she had a little Afrobeat, she doing all sorts of things and the thing is, it seemed to me like she know for navigate the industry too.
I love
So
that.
I
I love
feel like
that.
she should go far.
So one of the biggest argument was happening recently was how the Afrobeat had took over and was
Mm,
leading the waves, and then people felt like recently reggae dancehall kind of took back momentum.
mm.
Some say they don't agree. Some say that. What do you say?
Yeah, I think I agree. I don't know if all right. I don't know if dancehall is on the level yet with Afrobeats.
Okay,
Not internationally. I don't know if that's I don't
you
know
know,
if that's what I'm
you
saying. I
not
don't know
see
if
it yet.
I'm not seeing that yet. But but I gotta say, yes, it has gained a lot of momentum. It has gained
Yeah.
a lot of momentum, especially with the collaborations with Skilly Bang. I mean, we got YouTube awards. Was it this year or last year?
Mhm.
And Skilly Bang did perform with Tyler, right?
Right, right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So let's say BET awards. What did I say? Yeah, BET awards is what I meant to say. If that's not what
yeah.
I said, but yeah, Skilly Bang performed with Tyler. So like, dancehall getting, more momentum because of the collaborations, and then also the young artists that might make waves like Armani.
Yeah.
Armani waves, brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, for real. He is making waves. I've seen some of his joints and yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Magwan,
exactly.
Magwan. Yeah.
Exactly. So I agree, dancehall getting some serious momentum, but I don't know if it's on that level with Afrobeats just yet.
Okay, okay, all right. I like how you lay that out. I think that's acceptable. So
Yeah, man.
thi- this is good. Now, for people that are now discovering you and
Mm,
discovering the type of artist you is and don't necessarily understand your style, and because when people hear about an artist that's born that have that Jamaica blood in them, they're
mm.
looking for a lot of that Jamaica stuff, but you have a different thing to your thing. So what would you say to them about you and where you're heading? And let's say next year you decide to come out with an album, what would that look like?
Yeah, man. So it's always interesting to try to describe my genre to people because it don't really fit in a particular box like that because I draw from so many different influences.
Yeah.
So I'm a diverse artist. I mean, sometimes I describe my stuff as Caribbean pop, but really is like is music where you hear the Jamaican influence in it, but it's a mix of acoustic pop and hip hop and R&B and reggae and Afrobeats and a little bit of the Jamaican influence in there. So that's kind of what you expect from my music, diversity.
Yeah.
Diversity with that common thread of that Caribbean influence. And so, I'm working on a bunch of projects right now, but slowly but surely compiling the album,
Hmm.
which hopefully next year we can, see that come together nicely. But yeah, man, what you can expect is you'll see more of a cohesive sound,
Okay.
but it will sound like kind of a modern fusion of Caribbean pop and like R&B type of thing and
Yeah.
little beats type of thing. Yeah.
Let me ask you now, living out there in California,
Mm.
how much of the Jamaica culture have you been using out there?
How much have I been using? I mean, a lot. Because the thing is like Jamaica is such a brand, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
such a
man.
like love and people love the culture. People love just the
Yeah.
vibe of reggae music and the vibe of Jamaica. So whenever I'm performing, I try to bring it to the forefront. I mean, there's certain venues where you go where you kind of perform more like music that people used to. So
Right.
like
Right.
kind of maybe folk. If it's a folk kind of crowd, you kind of
Yeah.
or my acoustic pop stuff. But I always like sometimes I even have like my flag and dancers and them something there. So like, you have to really represent the culture because people love it. People really gravitate towards it because it's different out here. You know what I mean? There are certain places in California where it's not that common. And so where you can stand out a little, you definitely draw on what makes you unique. So in this area that I am, that's one of the things that will make me unique. So I definitely have to represent that. And I'm still buy my coconut and chop my coconut and them something there. So we just have
I
to
love
live.
that. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
Now,
man.
outside a character with artists, these two artists, let's say they have a show the same day,
Mm,
and you have to choose one show.
mm.
Chronics,
Oh.
Jacure.
Oh, yo.
who who
Easy,
you choosing?
boy, easy, All right.
I said,
That's a tough, that's a tough one.
that one the
That's a
tough.
that's a tough one. I might, sheesh, that's a tough one. Nah, but I might have to choose Chronics.
Chronics.
I would choose Chronics.
I hear you. I hear you. I love that. I love that. I wanted to get that, and I get it because Jacure do have some solids, and it is a beautiful piece right now because as Barry's getting older now and stuff like that, and even though people still love when him and Buju Banton do them show, and for the longest time people said they don't think any collab can come now that could outdo how much the collab of Barris and Buju have moved certain crowd. Which two artists you can think of outside of Buju and Barris that could do the mass as what Buju and Barris have done, and how them impact the shows them when them do a show together? Which two other artists you think could do that?
Like, you mean like new artists or
Even artists are out there already.
which two could move? That's interesting. Huh.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Every young person carries a story of hope, of struggle, of dreams waiting to rise. But in too many underserved communities, those stories go unheard.
At ease, Inc. Everyone has a story. We believe every voice deserves a chance. Through mentorship, empowering programs, and storytelling workshops, we help youth discover their purpose, strengthen their mindset, and build a future they can be proud of.
From classrooms in Jamaica to communities across Southwest Florida,
ES is changing lives,
one story at a time.
but we can't do it alone. Join us, become a mentor, volunteer, donate, help us fuel the next generation of leaders, creators, and change makers.
Visit ahazink.org today, because when you help a young person share their story, you help them change their world.
Huh.
That one they have a thing to it.
Have a thing to it.
Yeah, because I know it's hard for really put. You can't really put nobody in a them Buju and Berry shoes.
Yeah. Big shoes to fill still.
Yeah.
Big shoes to fill. Yeah, I'm not too sure enough.
Yeah.
I'm really not too sure. I'm really not too sure. When I think about it, I'm really not too sure because
Yeah. Now,
yeah,
back Shaggy had did an album with Sting,
yeah.
and people felt like they wanted more. You think they did justice with that album that they did?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, what more did people want in a sense?
Right.
Like, kind of like, I mean, first of all, it's Shaggy and Sting, like two legendary artists in two different spheres, right? Together at all is like a big thing.
Yeah.
And doing that album, I mean, I don't know if the album did so well in Jamaica, but internationally it did really
well. Yeah,
it did
really well internationally. Well, Jamaica, sometimes it's hard for crack when did it like that, So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
You as one of the young artists now that's coming up and what some would say underground, is that how them put it?
Yeah, pretty much.
If someone want to book you on a show, but they don't know how much time they need you to perform and how much time they feel you can perform and give them a show, what would you say to them? How much time them can get out there and some solid music?
Yeah, man, I can do hours. I can do 2, 3 hours.
Mad.
Two, yeah, man. If you
I
need a
love that.
show, need a full show, we're outside.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I love
Mhm.
that. I love that. I love that. Right now, as when it come to performing in different places, outside of the world, all of these different things. Outside of America, what does that look like? Traveling good? You can move around?
Yeah, man, can move around, man. Yeah, man. I haven't been moving around that much recently, but I've had shows in like Germany and those other places. So,
Okay.
so yeah, man. Yeah,
This
man.
is good.
Yeah,
So
man.
if the opportunity come for you to do even like a performance in Africa, that's possible.
Yes, of course, of
I
course.
love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Certain
Yeah.
festivals that they have coming up right now,
Mm.
let's say they want to book you on the show. What is the process to book you for a show like a festival or something like that?
Yeah, man. You can go to Zale.music.
Mm.
That's my website. Go there. You can book me. Instagram Zale himself. You can book me through there, DM through there, or you can email me Zale@Zale.studio.
Yeah,
So yeah, man. All these places you
I
can.
love, I love that, man. For a lot of people that want to know a little bit about the family life, what that look like right now is the whole family there in California or more still in Jamaica.
Whole family is not here. Most of my family is in Jamaica still.
Okay,
I have some family in Florida. I have some family in Germany too.
okay,
So family kind of spread out,
yeah.
and I'm out here in California just kind of treading my own path, you know.
I love that, man. I love that. With everything that is happening right now with AI,
Mm.
them catching other voices and stuff like that. How you feel about that?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I mean, boy, there's so much with AI. There's a lot of things because AI music is becoming more and more. Boy, I tell you, my mother made a post the other day, and you can put a song in the post and thing.
Yeah,
And I looked at it and I was like, is that AI music? Because the way it sounded,
yeah,
like you can kind of tell sometimes it's too formulaic, you know what I mean?
right, right, right.
And I look into it, I look up the song, I look up the artist, and I realize that actual AI artists.
Wow.
So that's happening now. We have AI artists, and I'm hearing that record labels are even signing AI artists and things like that. And I know a
What?
lot of people are upset about that.
Wow.
But record label, they ought to make money, right? If you can whip up an album in, you know, like a day by just typing in some stuff
Yeah.
and sell that, they're gonna try that.
No. No.
So I mean, it's becoming a different world. It's becoming a different world, and the AI is getting better too. So it's
Yeah.
making better music. It's writing better lyrics. Where I see it at the point where it is now, I
Right.
don't I don't see AI music replacing human music.
Right.
Um, there's something about human creativity that AI just can't capture. At least not yet.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
so I mean, we'll see where it goes. It
Yeah.
might be an interesting thing, but at least not yet. And I feel like where it is useful though, it can help you with your workflow. Because I mean, I see a lot of artists doing like it helping them with, coming up with ideas and melodies and different things in production, like helping with mastering and mixing and those sorts of things. And is it as another tool, just like autotune was and those kinds of things, it can be very, very useful, very
Yeah.
useful. And I
Yeah.
don't think people should demonize it as much if they
Right.
can use it to help them and fuel their creativity.
Yeah.
But insofar as it start to like replace artists and those types of things, I don't think I don't see that being that successful. I see human ingenuity as still
Still
much,
steady. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, more advanced. Yeah,
I
yeah,
love that.
man.
I love that. You know, when it comes to an artist, people that listen to this type of music that you produce and stuff like this, and the girls them go crazy, whatever that look like, they always want that one question to be asked. Is he available? What does that look like? Is he dateable? What is he doing? What would you say to those noise?
Oh boy. Right now I'm married to the music. That's
Brother, I'm married to the music.
all I can say.
Focus.
Yeah, man, yeah, man. Just
I love,
focus right now on the dream, you know.
I love that. I love that. I love that, man. Now, for people that want to follow you, where can they find you and follow you?
Yeah, man. So follow me, Zale himself, on all social media platforms, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Zale himself on all social media platforms. And my website is zale.music. So if you go in your browser and type in zale.music,
Yeah.
you'll see me there and you'll see my links to everything else too.
Mad, mad, mad. I love that, man. Listen, right now, beside dopamine, which other music you feel like is something that you've done where you're like, you know what, this really moved me in a way and it really, I'm healing from this. Because they say when artists do certain music, you know, it's to help people heal and all these things. Which piece would you say do that for the mass?
Yeah, man. Honestly, a lot of my songs for me are like that. Because most of my songs are for me to listen back to and feel a particular thing and motivate
Yeah.
myself, heal myself. The previous song I released before Dopamine was called Don't Stifle Dreaming.
Don't
That,
cycle. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that was one to that was kind of near and dear to my heart with like a strong message because I realize a lot of people kind of stifle their dreams and, kind of fall into things that, you know, they don't necessarily want to be living that life, but
right.
is what seem realistic to them or is what seem like they can, they don't have another option or something like that. But, insofar as insofar as you have the power to, keep on trying for that thing that you really want to do inside, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Okay, no, you never know.
yeah,
So, so that's one of the songs I think that really reminds me as well to keep on the journey.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's beautiful, man. I know people would say that we're in a time right now where a lot of people not necessarily managing it as
Mhm.
well. They get so discouraged and then sometimes they commit suicide and all them things. Why you feel even social media is so powerful now that influence mass of people right now?
What do I feel like social media has that influence, you're saying?
Yeah,
I mean, part of it is like people often crave an escape, you know what I mean?
yeah,
A lot of things in this world that can really, put you in a state that's not, ideal, put you in a state that makes you, I don't know, question what it's all for and all of those things. And social media can give you that escape you need.
yeah,
Um, and I mean, on the other side of it too, social media is designed to kind of fuel certain, desires and certain pathways, certain dopaminergic pathways in your system. And it fuels a certain desire in us. It keeps us engaged, it keeps us stimulated, it keeps us, and also like it's the new media, right? It's where people
yeah,
get their news. It's where people see what's up with, other parts of the world and see what's up with their friends. And like it's just an entire like digital community. It's like a digital civilization in a sense.
right.
So social media is a different beast, and I feel like it's here to stay.
Yeah,
Um, so I do think we need to come up with better ways of engaging with it and healthier ways of, you know, being on these platforms. So,
I love that. Living out in California, is there anything you miss about Jamaica that you wish you can have every now and then?
boy, everything, bro, everything. Boy, from the weather to, I mean, it's hot in Jamaica still, so I don't know if I miss that level of heat.
Yeah,
But more time when you're cold, out there kind of cold sometimes. I'm like, boy, you more kind of prefer the tropical
yeah,
weather.
yeah,
But yeah, from that to just the beauty of the island, right? Like the river them and that kind of thing. Miss
Yes.
that. The food. Boy, I want a jackfruit the other day, you know. I mean, I say,
Yeah.
yo, get some jackfruit. So,
Jackfruit, man. I had some the other day too, so I can
boy,
understand what you're saying, man. And
man,
there's not a lot of Jamaica stores out there.
not really. There's a couple. There's a couple. But certain things they don't really ship out here. So you're not really gonna get it. And if you get it, you're not really gonna get it fresh. You're gonna taste weird.
Right, right,
Yeah.
man. Well, one of the things right now, I know people are loving the content and the music that's being put out right now. And so for you right now, who would you say your music is similar to right now? That's how tier people are going crazy for.
Who's my music similar to right now? I'm not sure though.
Yes.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
That
I mean,
just mean everybody need for us go listen to the whole of the music them we are put out right now.
everybody needs to listen because I think it's unique. I mean, there are certain similarities with some of the other upcoming artists too.
Yeah.
But the like Afrobeat stuff might be similar to like a Tessellated or like some of my more reggae sounding stuff might be more similar to like a Runkus, Protege. I mean, I just have so many of these influences that
Yeah,
you can hear like threads of different sorts of influences in my music, but I kind of put it together in a way that I don't think I've heard quite anything like it.
that's beautiful. That's good,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, man.
Well, bro, I'm telling you, man, this is a vibe. It was really, really a joy to have you back on the show and just hear about what's going on with you and all that stuff. So, 2026, are we making it out that the people can expect an album?
Yes, definitely.
You guys heard it. You guys heard it from the man himself. There is
Yeah.
an album that will be dropping in 2026. So this is good, man. At least eight tune.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Where do you live, man? Don't worry, bro.
I love that, man. Hey, listen, man. Enjoy the rest of the weather out there in California.
There you
You know,
go.
one of these time, we have to bring you up on the show live.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We have to link up in a Jamaica one of them time
Yeah,
because we
man.
know
We are gonna link up in a Jamaica one, and you never know. One of the year we might have to bring you down on the Christmas of Hope show.
All right. All
Yeah,
right.
man. So
Yeah, man.
we are gonna talk. We are gonna talk. So listen, thank you for being on the show today, my brother.
Much respect. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yes, man. You guys are welcome. Until our next episode, where we have another decorative guest like our brother, Mr. Zale Young, right here on Stories to Create podcast. My brother.
Take care. Much love.
Thanks for tuning in and downloading this episode of Stories to Create. We appreciate you being part of this growing community of storytellers and listeners. If today's conversation inspired you, please share the show with friends, family, or anyone who could use a little motivation in their journey. A special thank you to our sponsors, EHAS Organization, Cornell Bunting LLC, and Nostril Cheese Chase for supporting the mission and making this podcast possible. To learn more about our work, upcoming projects, and how you can get involved, be sure to visit www.hissingorg and www.cornellbunting.com. Until next time, keep creating, keep growing, and remember, your story has power.